Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and are we back? A Chairboy journey everybody is back. I brought it back. This story needed an ending. It really did need an ending, and that's what I couldn't leave it. I really couldn't. So, a Chairboy journey returns 2 days a week, a Monday and a Tuesday, and I'm here today to take you through what has happened since I made that last video a few months ago. So this is the league table. As you can see, we finished a record high of 12th. We turned our poor form around really. We had a bit of, it was an up and down season in that we were, the best word to describe it was inconsistent. As a whole, a successful season. As I said, our highest finish ever. We finished 15th in our first season in the championship and finished 12th in the second. So I'm quite pleased. This game here, the 2-1 defeat against Preston, was the last game that I brought to you before ending the series. It was just something that just wasn't, it wasn't running smoothly, and I knew full well it wasn't good content. So I left it. I started Quest for Greatness, and as you can see, that's gone from strength to strength. And I thought this story though, it does need an ending. It really does. With our second season in the championship, we've really built this team up from a team that wasn't meant to survive in League One. And I thought, right, let's play through to the end of the season. As you can see, I did. We had a very good run of form from December all the way to kind of the middle of February, and then we went back into kind of losing a few, winning, losing 3, winning, and then we finished out the season quite well, beating Palace and Preston after crawling to the finish line. But we got there, as I said, 12th, our highest position, so I was really pleased with that. And I was finally given money, given £1 million to spend, and I thought, right, I can do something with this. As you can see, I've bought a fair few players in. It's the most money I ever had, and I kind of went into this transfer with a new philosophy. I've played a lot more Football Manager since when I did this originally, and the first season in the Championship that I did was very much a, bargain hunting, just get the best players in you can. The second season I completely panicked in that I had even less money than the first season in the Championship, and I just got anyone I could who would join for the money I had. I didn't think we strengthened in the places we needed to strengthen. Defence improved slightly. We were a better team, I think, but it wasn't a good window. In this window, I came into it and I knew I had to do something different. I came in with a new tactic that I wanted to employ, so I was going to sign players to that tactic. Now, in order for me to fully fund what I wanted to do, I did need a bit more money, and the big way of doing that was selling Lee Evans. Is a very difficult one for me because he's a good player. He's a very good player, and selling him to QPR was a big gamble. QPR are in the Premier League, so I don't have to worry about division rivals, but I think it shows that they've signed him, that he's a good player. When he was with us, his value was 4 million, and I sold him for 6. So I thought it was a good piece of business at the time. I still do. Saying that 8.75 is like, but I think for the players we've got in, we've upgraded. Like, we have got a good young squad in, so I think this was necessary. That 6 million was well invested throughout the club. I think we've upgraded the youth facilities as well, but we needed that money. And as I say, when I show you the players we've got, I think you'll see that actually I did make the right decision. We also let go Smith, Locko and Cashket. Again, every single one of them have been sold for a profit, so all 4 of those players were bought in on frees. Cashket, of course, was got in prior to our time. Just a player that didn't suit the level. I hope he goes to Doncaster and recreates that form he had with us in League One. He's still 26, so he can still do it. Kevin Locko goes to Derby, who were relegated to League One. A real sorry for one for me, because he came in and he overachieved with us. He never should have been as good as he was. But as I said, we have brought in some quality players. And then Smith, again, got him on a free. Never really did what he was capable of for me. He's gone to Birmingham and he's undoubtedly will score against me. But of course, it being my team, Birmingham, I was more likely to let him go. So I think, all in all, it's a good bit of business. And as you can see, I've actually spent 3.5 million, but the freeze I got, I think, is where I excel with this. So I've signed quite a few players, so I'm going to show you the starting 11 instead of going through all of them. You'll get to see them all in time, but most of the new players are in this starting 11. In goal will remain Liam Roberts. Bit of a, he's had mixed form for us. Last season was probably his breakout season for us, really. I bought him in for stupid money from Warsaw. He came in, had a mixed season in his first season. Super McGee, who's still at the club as a backup, had a great season that season. But 6.89 for a goalkeeper on Football Manager is quite a good average rating. But last year, he went from strength to strength, 9 clean sheets, 6.95, he even got a Man of the Match award. Conceded 56, but I think it was a byproduct of the team we were and the football I wanted to play. I've got a better team now, and I think that the way I like to play, does concede goals. Anyone who's watched my Quest for Greatness with Liverpool will know that it concedes goals, but with the right players you also score goals. So I do think we're getting somewhere. He keeps his play. Left back, continuing from last year, Cameron Borthwick-Jackson, one of the kind of good things about us last year, in which what I think it will be, looking back, a transition season. So I took a gamble when I got him in first. First season, he was very good for us, but he didn't kick. First season, he was okay for us. Didn't really kick on. Second season, he came in, played him in a very different position as a complete wing back, and he excelled. Always got those assists before the assists. Very good player. I think he was derailed a little bit by an injury, but looked a real good signing for us last season. And of course, he's got that potential. He's gone down to potentially be a leading Sky Bet Championship left back in the future from Premier League, but I still think he can maybe do it. He is 25 now, but he's still got a lot left to give us, and I'm really happy with him. Next is Nathaniel Ogbeta, again another player that we got in last season. I think it shows how well I've done in the free market, really. Championship player, he could improve. Potential of 4.5 stars. Heading is 15, marking is 12, tackling is 14. Mentals are okay. Physically he's very good. He's naturally fit as well, and in the Championship you need natural fitness. So he was at Man City in his youth. Never played for them. Went out to the Bulgaria First Division as an okay season. First season of us, he was very good. 42 appearances, got a goal, got an assist. 4 player of the matches in a 7 average rating. I think you can't ask more from a defender. Only 21, still got a lot to kind of give. I'd like to see him add a few more goals from corners. He's very good at heading, so maybe that's something we can get out of him this season. But that'll be down to set pieces and things. He's a good player, and I think our defence is looking much stronger. So the person playing next to him goes by the name of Yasin Maria. He's a Turkish 29-year-old. He's been around Tunisia, Greece and Turkey. This is a big test for him, but I think he'll be a big player for us. If I show you this, you can see we've also added loan from Man United, Tayden Mengi, who we had last season but didn't actually play. Another good player. I don't think he's quite at the level of the other two yet, but on loan, his heading is 13, his marking is 12, and his tackling is 11, which needs to work on a little bit, but as a backup, he's a great player. And another player from last season, Ben Wilmot, 22 years old, we got him on a permanent deal for 1.5 million, heading 14, marking 14, tackling 13, a great player, and it gives me much more depth in defence. That was something I really lacked last season, was depth, and I've added that throughout the squad. Starting as right wing back against Fulham will be Joachim Konoplia. I will murder the pronunciation of this, probably say it 5 different ways, but we've brought him in. He's a work in progress. He's 22 years old, Ukrainian. He can play on either side. He does what I need to, in that he's very quick. He's fairly good at crossing, and his dribbling's okay. Something to work on. Right backs is probably our weakest area. We've also brought in Ronald Hernandez as well, who's probably slightly better, but we're going to give them both a go, as well as Luke O'Neill, who will act as a cover player. Hernandez has been at Aberdeen. Do you know, not really getting a chance there? and Konoply has been in the Ukrainian Premier League with Shakhtar and similarly not getting a chance, so they are a bit of gambles, but I think we can get something out of these players. And as back for another year, he is my man, like he is my player. You always have those players in this game, and for this save, in fact numerous saves, James Garner's a man. He's just unbelievable. Goes into his 4th season with us. Just look at his ratings. Last season wasn't as good as the other two, but hopefully he'll kick on. He's got someone very, very good next to him. You know Garner, I'm not going to talk too much about him, but this next guy I'm very excited for. Godfred Doncer. This player, like, look, he's estimated to be 10 million. Ghanaian, 420 caps for Ghana, 26 years old, dribbling 14, first touch 12, long shots 11, passing 13, technique 14, mentally you've got lots of 12s there, determination 15, his work rate is 15, he's fairly quick in the middle of the park. This player I think has got it all. I expect so much from him. He could just be our star player this season. A lot of expectation on him, but you can see he shoots with power, winds up opponents, argues with officials, and runs with ball often. So he's one of those. He's got a determined personality, but I think if he can stay fit, if he cannot get sent off, he could be an amazing player, or he could be a flop. But I'm hoping it's amazing. So Godfred Doncer comes in, another 3, and I think that's a great signing. Starting on right wing, he goes by the name of Federico Martinez. The Uruguayan, another player, his value is 11.75 million, or estimated value. Another 3. He's been in the Argentinian Premier League. He's got 13 goals last season for Rosario Central. This guy is another one. 4 stars, leading player for most championship sides. Look at all the greed. He's got a 16 for leadership as well. Another quick player. His dribbling's 14, first touch 13. He can finish as well, which I think the 12 and finishing makes up for his crossing, because that's as an inside winger. That's how I'm going to play them. As you can see, he likes to cut inside from the right wing as well. This is another player I've got high hopes for, and hopefully he can deliver. Next, on the left is Chris Willock, a player we got in on another 3 from Benfica, previously at Arsenal and had a loan spell at Huddersfield. 3-star rated, potential 4, another player that could be in the Premier League if he develops well, worth 7 million, we got him on a 3, he can dribble, his first touch is good, his finishing's okay, passing 11, marking's a bit of worry, but of course we don't really need to worry that with him. Another quick player, and another player that I'm delighted to have in this. And now up front, we start with Ryan Brewster, another player we've had in previous seasons. He starts his 3rd season with us after getting 21 goals and 7 assists last season. This season could go one way, could go amazingly, or it could be awful. I feel like we've got some real pedigree now, and Brewster in on loan again is another great signing for us. Dribbling 13, finishing 14, first touch 14, his passing's 13, his technique's 14, and the person that I'm going to start up with him is another player who is on a different level. It's Adam Slozek. We've brought him in on loan from Man City. Football Manager and FIFA players will know this guy and the potential that he possesses. Another quick player. His dribbling's 12, his first touch is 14. Finishing is 12. He's got a lot to learn, and we're going to start him up front. I think he's one that he could beat. I think he's probably one of the biggest gambles, but for a loan deal, I'm hoping that he can really, kick on. I always have the option of bringing him onto the side and moving someone like Martinez up if I need to. He's a solid player, and of course, he's worth 11 million. Man City signed him, hasn't really played. First season he played it 19 times for Sparta Prague, so he is untested. But this is a team I think where he can have time, can have the season to develop, and if we can get him for another season as well, he'll look in really good stead. This is the place I believe that he could develop in. So Adam Plazek comes in, and that's our starting 11. There will be a few other players to show you. I've showed you most of the players that have come in. Now you can see there's some ones you may remember, like Stewart is still in there. 09 I mentioned Kyle Edwards. I feel like we've got much more of a squad now, but this team will start against Fulham. We are at home. You can see this is our schedule. So we have a Carabao Cup game against Millwall, we play Fleetwood, and then Watford, and then Millwall again. A trip to the Den. So I think it could be a harder start. Of course, Watford, have been up and down. Our signings have meant that we're now predicted to finish 13th instead of down the bottom. I think you can't lie that we've signed some good players, and I think anything other than a top half finish will be underachieving this season. You can see the type of players that we've got. You've got Brighton, who have come down, and they've got Ricky Puig in there, Dan James. There's some good players, Ismail Assar plays for Palace. You've got Wan-Bissaka at Watford. There are some good players, Callum Wilson, Cook, Mayer, and we're going to be up against it, but hopefully we've signed enough to have a good season. So that brings the end to this reintroducing episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. Tomorrow we kick off with the game against Fulham and possibly the Millwall game in the Cup. If you have enjoyed this, press that like on there, and if you're really enjoying the content, also drop a subscribe. So if you do feel like doing that and building this, joining our community, then please do. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again. Thank you.